Hey guys, it's Postbox Pat. Welcome back to a storyline video. It's been a while since we've made one this season, and I really want to just get into some stuff, talk about where we are currently with the storyline, how the season's going to end, and where it's going to transition into the new season. And for some random reason, if you are new around here, don't forget to tap that subscribe button. It means the world to me. We're getting so close to 650,000. We once hit 650,000, but for some reason, YouTube's been unsubscribing people every single month. I don't know why this is happening, but it is. And if you enjoy the content any further, don't forget to pop in code POST to the item shop, POST, when you can during this video. Now let's jump into this. We're going to start off with Sloan's quest lines, which is part 3 and 4. We're going to break them down and we're going to go deeper into this and look how the season is going to end. Let's check this out.
I've been told by someone you and I both trust that we need to get off this island as soon as we can. Is that what the previous residents did? Find some true home among the stars?
Now I love this section because she refers back to obviously Optimus Prime telling us the plan to get off this island, someone that we both trust.
Time has come to make your escape.
From other voice lines from Optimus Prime, we know that he's been in contact with Sloan, and do you trust him or not? I don't know. Apparently Sloan says that we should both trust him, but that's a question left for you guys to answer. Then she kind of refers back to the Seven, I think, by saying, is that what the previous residents did? Find a true home beneath the stars? Kind of like referring to them as failing a little bit, whereas Paradigm sent us to this kind of weird universe, which isn't really ideal, and maybe Sloan's not happy about what the Seven have done here, kind of referring to that. I'm assuming that's doing that, but she doesn't 100% know who it was, but she kind of knows roughly it was the Seven, because as we know, Sloan was buried in the jungle when she got slapped by the mech during the live event of Chapter 3 of Season 2. Just a quick one to help me test my Fortnite maps. If you are an active player on Fortnite and want to add my testing account, it's Postbox Test. Feel free to add it only if you're an active player on Fortnite. That's the gamer tag or epic name. You can add it. I'll be adding everyone that sends a friend request there, but if you're not active, I will be removing you, so you must be on Fortnite regularly to get invites from Postbox Test.
These glyphs are a clue to where we need to go next, if I can solve them. Attempts to match details from the glyphs with the movements of astronomical objects has been difficult. The glyphs appear to be predicting an incoming eclipse. All readings indicate that's impossible. But me standing here, alive? That's an impossibility too. And if these glyphs are truly the unheard voice of the past, then you know I have to listen.
This section here is really interesting because Sloan basically says that she believes that the glyphs themselves are right and her calculations are completely wrong. She believes that they are the voice of the past. They are the visionaries which we know. And these visionary people, and who are they or what are they is what I'm trying to say here, are basically people that are related to the last reality's element, the cube that they harnessed. Obviously not 100% the last reality, because the Origin was part of this old faction back in the day as well. The Cube Queen is also, and there's also plenty of leaked skins from the surveys which we've seen in the past, which are also going to relate to this sort of quest line in the storyline. This geezer here, you can see a little picture of him. I don't know who this is or what it is or where it's from, but it's pretty cool, and obviously this could be something to do with Triox Nox's storyline, or something to just generally do with obviously the last reality and the element of the cube stuff, which we know as the glyphs and stuff, being able to understand and harness this power. And this could be one of the people that we do see who used to live in the jungle that we learn about later on in the storyline, which is a really interesting theory to put to it. Sloan then goes to tell us about the incoming eclipse which the glyphs are predicting. We know this from some of the leaked pictures which we've seen of obviously the huge telescope beam pointing into the sky and revealing kind of a bright circular spiral substance which is releasing kind of a bright light which looks like is possibly the eclipse. And we assume this eclipse is probably going to be something from the past, because Sloan then goes and says this.
Energy debris from the Riftgate collapse has complicated my long-range cosmic scans, but I am picking up something. A signal I've seen before. A very old signal. One I think I recognize.
Now this probably refers to the Ice Moon. The last time we saw the Ice Moon was a while ago in the collision event in Chapter 3 Season 2, but we know the Ice Moon was home to the Seven and also the Ice King, and we learned that in the comics and stuff. But it was interesting to see, because obviously this is really exciting stuff to know that the Ice Moon is possibly going to be the eclipse, because we know currently in the storyline that the Seven are scattered. They've been kind of interfered. We know that Amy went to find them and they had been kind of infected type of substance or some sort of zombie-like form, as we know Amy went to search for them. And this could be what happens when we see the Ice Moon again. Maybe the Seven are there, but they're not the Seven we once knew. They're now these new kind of controlled zombie-like forms, maybe by the Cube, maybe by a new faction. We're not too sure exactly who, but this is something that Amy gave evidence towards a while ago. And if you're wondering who Amy is, then I don't blame you, because the Fortnite storyline's been a bit messy, but Amy is the artificial intelligent robot created by the scientist, who we know the scientist is part of the Seven, and Amy's technically part of the Seven, technically, but could go rogue. We don't really know how a robot system works. I really didn't like the Amy storyline. She was very annoying, but I think that was the character they gave her. And obviously, that is where things are going to go, because we know that she went through the rift gate. She went through with the suit to find the scientist. She says bye, and we leave her at the end of the Oathbound stuff in Chapter 4, Season 1. So that's where Amy's gone. She's gone to search for the scientist, and I'm assuming we'll probably loop back round to that in Season 4, or if we do get a Season 5 or a Chapter 5, we will loop round back to this at some point. We should probably reveal ourselves into this new dark substance, which would probably make sense for Halloween. If you look at kind of the timeline where the Fortnite storyline's going, Fortnitemares, they always like to introduce some sort of zombie creature or something, and obviously the Ice Moon is where they could be being hosted and being kind of living there, I guess, because we know the Ice King was from there originally. So, you know, maybe they're living there, creating some sort of beast substance. The Seven no longer have an active base. They have no way of defending it there, where the Paradigm was based there for a long time. We know that she built the mech there, and obviously that was all set to go for her. But it isn't really a substantial area for them to hold out, and maybe this alien substance or alien creature people are based there now, and that's like their new place. So that obviously brings the storyline to that factor of where the Ice Moon's coming from, and this is all coming from I was going to say Dr. Prime then, that's not his name, Optimus Prime. This is all coming from Optimus Prime's message, which he gave us obviously originally at the start of this season. He's been giving us messages throughout the season, but some of the main important ones to point out is Optimus Prime is clearly an indicator of the storyline. He kind of just repeats himself mainly throughout the whole season. I'm just reading a few of these messages while I'm doing this commentary right now. He basically tells us some of the most important things. He says is the power that once flowed through your island has faded, and formidable enemies that have taken notice. So then formidable enemies possibly could be obviously the last reality, this new substance which has taken over the scientists, which is like post-chrome zombie substance. We don't know what it is, but we'll hopefully see it in Fortnitemares. Also, some other good quotes that Optimus does say in the Fortnite lore. The answers you seek lie deep within the star's void that brought you here. Obviously, we know that Sloan is investigating that currently with the telescope, and we've got some more stuff to play from Sloan in a second, her last part of the quest, which we'll jump to in a second. And the last line, which is a recent line that Optimus Prime I don't think has said in game yet, but it's kind of just a repeat of what he said at the start of the season when you actually did his little quest thing where you talked to him in the temple. But he just keeps repeating himself. I wish Fortnite would actually give us more information rather than just repeated lines but in different words. But he says the key to your future lies in the past. You must brave the unknown, fight on, and roll out. He just kind of repeats himself. It's really bad storyline writing in my opinion. Really dragged out, too dragged out to be honest, the storyline has been. But I don't want to criticize the storyline too much in this video. It's not my job. My job is to tell you guys what's happening. But yeah, obviously Optimus Prime is just telling us the past. The answer lies in the past, which is possibly what Sloan's relating to here, with it being the Ice Moon. That's something that she's identified from the past. Now, if we listen to Sloan's last voice lines, which got leaked as well, which will be towards the end of the season, let's take a listen to them and analyze them, and then we'll end up here.
You're the last one I want to call in on this. You know me too well, for one. You'll be infuriating. But you're the only one I trust to handle this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need your help. Let's hope your aim hasn't improved. I don't know how I survived. Some stranger, he found me. And what's left of my tank, deep under the island. His technology kept me alive. He says it belongs to those who used to live here. When I recover, I need to learn everything about this jungle, its people. I need a plan, a mission. I won't falter here. I won't surrender.
So in this final little line we get from Sloan, unless we get another one in another update before the season ends, I'm not too sure if we will or not, we might. But anyway, in the final line here, she's basically just kind of repeating what she said in her earlier stuff, which I haven't put in today's video. I did in the original storyline video I released at the start of the season. And she's just repeating herself there, really telling us how she survived. And Relic, obviously who lives in the jungle currently, the boss Relic, is friends with Sloan. Fun fact, I haven't made a video on this, but if you take Relic over to Dr. Sloan as an NPC, they won't actually fight each other because they are friends, which is really cool. So that is a fact there to mention. But yeah, obviously, like what I'm trying to say here is Relic knows how to use these powers. Sloan wants to recover herself and get a little bit better so she can understand the glyphs as well, understand everything that's going on around here. We're not too sure what Sloan's exactly doing and what she's thinking. I'm assuming she has the same mindset she did originally when we first met her. For example, the background gameplay and playing here at the event. Obviously, this was like one of Sloan's first initial plans where she abandons us and just betrays us. But I don't know if Sloan's changed a bit. She may have a different mindset. She may even not be as intelligent as she once was. I'm assuming she still is though, and it's not a different like snapshot of her. I think it's the same one. So yeah, the Doctor is interesting. Her side of the story where she's stuck in the tank and wants to heal. Her plan is to not give up and obviously learn more about the glyphs, and that's probably where the season will end. I think we'll see throughout the next 2 weeks the kind of telescope locate the glyphs a little bit more, kind of spin around and look at them and give us an idea of what's going on with the ice moon. And then I think next season will be like kind of maybe investigating the ice moon, maybe parts of it will start falling to the ground. And then I think maybe during Fortnite, the whole thing will land on kind of what similar happened to the cube stuff back in the day. If you remember, Kevin the Cube's island lifted up during Fortnite from the lake, so that would kind of make sense. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. It'll kind of build up to the Halloween event, which will kind of crash land the ice cube onto the island, or parts of it, which will give us the Halloween monsters, which will be part of the storyline. And then it'll go from there throughout December. We'll get another storyline season hopefully, and then more storyline seasons in chapter 5. They've left just kind of like a conclusion over this chapter so far. They've left us kind of really confused and very, very dry for storyline content, almost to a point where people aren't really going to be as interested in the storyline because people would have forgotten about it, because it's been since chapter 3 season 4's event in December was when we last received an event and even had any major storyline content. Obviously the Oathbound making an appearance with Geno's first appearance was cool, but the storyline had no event or no one really knows what Stellan was doing with that Riftgate. Why did he bring all this random stuff in season 2 where we had all the Mega City storyline, which was completely dead? I don't know why he did that. And then this season, it's just even weirder. The jungle is completely irrelevant to Mega City. Mega City just basically gave us Tryout Knox, who was just an insider inside of all the Syndicate stuff, and you had to just identify him and kick him out, basically. That was the whole storyline for that season. And I guess to conclude this season, it mainly focuses on Sloan's return and her trying to learn the past of all the cube power, or the glyphs, so to say, and she's trying to learn everything about them and kind of just understand where it first came from, the origin of all of this, and maybe the origin of the universe. We don't know 100% what this jungle actually holds. The stuff inside of here seems amazing. The information could really give us an insight and hopefully an explanation on where the lore first started, how the cubes were formed, how this power came to be, who controlled it, and what is this? What is it? Is it related to the 0 point, or is it its own sort of energy which kind of lures and lurks its way around the universe depending on situations? Now, the final point I want to end up is on the return of Stark Industries / Marvel Comics, because inside of Fortnite currently right now we do have a Stark Industries letter on one of the tables. This Stark Industries kind of letter / wallet type thing could give us an indication / hint that it could lead to a future Marvel collaboration in the game, either being storyline related and comic form, or an entire season again, which would be amazing, like we had in chapter 2 season 4, which was probably the best season we ever received. And hopefully that's my opinion, by the way, guys. Obviously everyone has their own opinion on their favorite season, but that was my favorite season. I've played every season of Fortnite. Personally, that was my favorite one, and I'm not even that big of a Marvel fan. I just think everything in that season was just really cool. Anyway, that's a different topic entirely. Yes, Stark Industries on the table. This could be an indication to possibly who is going to be coming in to help us again and calling upon the Marvel stuff. So yeah, let's hopefully we do see it. I'm surprised this has been in the game for like over 3-4 weeks now, so either I'm a complete idiot and it's just them reusing assets, or it is actually done on purpose. We know that Fortnite have made mistakes like this in the past though. For example, chapter 3 season 2, they kept putting like ghost flags up and shadow flag. I think it was ghost flags when it was meant to be the 7 flags, and they changed it in an update because everyone picked up on it. Just little mistakes, lots of little mistakes. Storyline really needs improving for the future. Let's hope we get it. That's it for today's video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to play Toybox with the code on screen. Peace.